Hello, this is Pastor Rick Bliese, and welcome to our Thursday morning bonus Bible study. We've put together this special bonus Bible study to focus on Holy Communion. Most specifically, we want to do an assessment of our experience over Easter for the first time here at Emmanuel of celebrating Holy Communion online. And as we prepared, we said this was a discernment process. This was also very important to the church council that we now circle around and we discern, okay, what happened? How was the experience? And then, of course, part of that discernment will include how do we move forward into the future? So that's what we want to talk about in this short session. But I thought I'd start by showing some pictures. We asked the members of Emmanuel, those who were communing at home, to show us pictures, to send selfies and pictures of your setup at home for Holy Communion. And I'd like to start this session by showing you a couple of the pictures that were sent in. Easter communion photos at Emmanuel. So I love this one because of the palm in the background. That's just quite lovely with the cross and the silver plate. It was just beautiful. You just almost want to join this family with communion. Here's one I love because this was our home. This was Nina. And I want to point out not just the beautiful flowers and the online service that she's following, but the bread there had been baked by one of our bread bakers here at Emmanuel, Pat Day. Isn't this lovely? Where you have this beautiful, simple altar that's been set up with the candle, but I love the book of personal prayer that was added. Obviously, the whole experience had been marinated in prayer. Here you've got the family, and not just the whole family celebrating, but all of creation. We've included the dogs, not something we normally do or could do here at church. That's wonderful. I like this picture because it shows how important technology is. Look at the large TV screen, yet the simple communion setup for two at this home. Yeah, look at this, how lovely. Particularly, I love the palm frond from the week before, from Palm Sunday. And this is a tradition in many homes, right? They keep the fronds and they keep them throughout the Easter season. We'll make crosses, and here they included that along with opening the Bible to Matthew's version of the Lord's Supper. Here you go. Ellie and Tom Jackson, of course. But look at the cross in the background, and again, the setup for two with the technology. How interesting, right? That here these communion setups at home are so dependent on the TV screen, on the computer, on the iPad, on, for some, even the iPhone. This is lovely as well. I wondered as I looked at this whether the plate was from Israel, maybe from Jerusalem, both the plate and how they kept the wine here. That means very lovely, but that's what it reminded me of when I saw it. Yeah, we're celebrating communion as families. Here, the couple with the Easter lilies, which is I love the addition, the beautiful Easter lilies, and the fireplace in the background. Yeah, here another Bible opened up, the simple candle. You can see the bread and it's set up for two. Again, what a lovely, you can see that each of these altars, each of these tables really had their own character and really reflected the families who were celebrating. Yes, and again, one of the things that impressed me was attention to detail. Not only the wine, the Bible, the bread, but also the candle snuffer. All these details, which are so lovely when we get to celebrate communion online and at home. All right, is that the last one?
That's it.
Okay. So again, thank you for sending in those pictures, those who did. And I just want to encourage, if you took pictures before you took communion of the table that you set, we'd love to see those. We're going to put together a collage, a collection of those photographs. We're going to publish those online or other places in the newsletter. So please send them in. You can send them to me, to Will, or to Jim Cooper, and we'll make sure that these get published together. But before I ask some of the questions about the sermon, I thought you might also be interested in some of the statistics that were centered around this experience. At 9:30 and 11, we had two services where we practiced this online communion, both at 9:30, the English service, and then the Spanish service at 11 o'clock. Now, when we get our analytics, one of the interesting things is when we receive these, they use sort of unique language, and I'm going to try to interpret it. But at our 9:30 service, we had 678 unique views. Now, what unique views means, I'll put it in my own language, that is live family units. 678 family units. So as we all know, some people live by themselves. That's a family unit. Others, it's a couple. Again, that's a family unit. And other families have 3 or 4 kids. All that is a family unit. All we know is that there were 678 unique views, which means family unit views. So I'm guessing conservatively, that's about 1,000 people who participated live. These are the live views who participated in online communion. After that, we know we had total views. So those who came back later, maybe on Sunday, and viewed the service at another time, we had a total of 1,345 total views at the end of Sunday. In addition, at 11 o'clock with Pastor Jose's service, they had 241 views. So I'm guessing that's around 350 people who viewed that service and participated in an online communion. So when you put it all together, we probably set a record for attendance this Sunday, which is odd when you think about it. Here we are all isolated in our own homes, practicing the social distancing as we should, but we probably had 1,350 approximately live views, people viewing and participating in the communion service, and maybe 1,800 total views, 1,800 people watching either live and then in addition in the recorded view. So boy, like I say, that is much more than the attendance we would normally get here live in the sanctuary. So that's pretty exciting, and we have to reflect, what does that mean now that so many people are joining us online? Here also might be interesting, all our viewers were from the US. Okay, no international views, except of course for Jose's service. There we got several from various places in Latin America. But for the 9:30 service, 69% of all viewers, 459 family units, they were from Florida. So not necessarily just Naples, but Florida. And then after that, here are the next 7 or 8 states, because 31% of those who viewed the service and participated in online communion were from other states, most of them up north, but not all up north. We had in Michigan 40 family units, in Connecticut 32, in Pennsylvania 18 family units, Minnesota 15 family units, Ohio 23 family units, Wisconsin 17, Illinois 11 family units, Louisiana 5 units, in Indiana 6. So we are thankful again for all those who joined us from all over the United States. We didn't follow, or I didn't track those below 1.5% of the total viewership, But again, 69% Florida, 31% outside the Florida area. So here's our goal. Now, it's just a goal, and now we're going to discern with you how we're to move forward. And of course, we're going to look for the church council to give us guidance, because once again, they approved the Easter online service, but now the question is, how do we move forward? So we'll have to go to the council and seek their wisdom. But our goal would be to celebrate another online communion on the first Sunday of May. That's just in the staff, as we've discussed it loosely. We said, well, let's shoot for the first Sunday of May, but beforehand, let's hear from the congregation, how was the experience? Let's talk to the council to get approval. And based on what we hear and decisions that are made, we'll get back to you, so stay tuned, right? But this is the discernment, obviously, moving forward. How long are we going to be isolated? Boy, watching the TV now and the news channels and reading the papers, we don't know. Is it going to be May the 1st? Is it going to be June? What will the governor say? And then, of course, how will we respond? It could be that the businesses are opened up, but people won't trust being in public places like in sanctuaries and closed places for a while. We just don't know. So that's why we're trying to prepare. But we're going to ask then, how often should we celebrate online communion? It's one thing when we do all the work and prepare the meal here at Emmanuel every Sunday, but now doing it online, should it be once a month? Should it be every Sunday? What would be appropriate and meaningful for us as a community? How do we improve and enhance the experience? We want to discern that as well. And we want to ask and raise up questions that may have emerged for you as you were celebrating communion online, or as you've heard from members of other congregations or from other experts or seen things online. Are there any questions that have emerged that we can address? So let me Blessings to you for the rest of the day.